morning, people.
Vietnam.
Yeah, good in some places. It feels like it's that.
You know me.
Yeah. Here we are. Another. We'll see. 2 weeks. Oh, we already been on this year. All right. So another rousing episode of Heyward CPA podcast live stream, whatever you want to call it. It's just two guys here talking about Lord
Stuff.
knows what we might talk about today. Especially, I just saw your text, by the way, from what we was talking about off air.
Yeah, you know about that, didn't you?
In some way, yeah. I mean, yeah, in
Well,
some
it
ways,
seems to be showing more. Like that's the
yeah, it's going down
number.
right now.
I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
But it's only from the. It seemed like it's a certain demographic
yeah,
talking about it in that way. Otherwise, it's commonplace in a whole nother.
yeah. Nah, it's really compelling. Definitely not the subject. So you know, but yeah, here we are today. Beautiful day. Another day, another year. Our month's almost over, people.
25th of January, man.
So we know those what you call those resolutions. How many people have busted their resolutions already?
The third week, they say it falls by the third week, people fall off, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, nowadays it's probably even shorter because
Yeah,
like
true. Day two.
it's a lot of things. There's a lot of distraction out here, so it's a lot of reasons to tell you, nah, don't do it. Say it like that. So what can you do? But
Mhm.
we have a interesting show that we just put together. Like right now, like literally right now, because it's on the fly as usual. But our knowledge base is so voluminous that anything can happen at any moment. But I figured today, um, we would talk about we talk about business, but I figured we talk about the finance of the owners because, of course, tax season has arrived. So
Mhm.
it's the time of year when everybody pays attention. So everybody wants to know what's going on, what's going to happen.
Mhm.
And I could take this time to do a video I need to do for the practice on air live.
Hello,
So
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Heyward CPA,
yeah,
where
but
we
we
don't
can
just do your taxes, we advise you.
no yeah. We do taxes with an advisor's vision. That's what we do. So this might be cut up. So if you are a client of ours, welcome, because you might very well be seeing this video as a welcome video to say that welcome to tax season 2025, where we are preparing the 2024 tax return, meaning that we prepared the tax return for what you did last year. That's what happened. Okay. So whatever things you did last year, that's what we're preparing for. So what does that mean? But we're going to get to that. We're going to talk of that and talk about some personal finance things. I participated in an interesting family reading project for a book that I'm not going to name because I don't want to. Not yet. I'm gonna wait till it's over. Right now, the reviews are kind of, we doing this, and it's pretty cool though. But what I will say about what's going on in our book of the week segment is, my in-laws sent us books for Christmas. So this particular book, and then said, okay, we're gonna have 3 sessions to review the book. So one per month. For I think it's 3 chapters. They broke it down 3, 4 chapters or something. So we had the first session on Thursday. Was interesting, very interesting.
That's pretty dope, though.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying, that the whole get down is really dope. Like, I mean, that's a really dope concept. So I don't know, maybe it's something the other books we may you know get into or something like that. Um, but it was good. So the first session went. It was interesting. Like any first session, it's getting there. Say we got somebody woke up. That's very good. I'm glad you're awake.
Good morning.
I'm glad. I'm glad to see you're up. So now we back in order. I think it was a couple of weeks. Might have missed. She hadn't been here. So it was very good. Very good though. It was a very interesting thing. So I'm not, as I said, I'm not going to reveal the name of the book that we're reviewing just now, because right now it's some of the participants are not too.
It's muddy. The ground is muddy. Not.
Yeah. It's very So I'm just curious to see over the next couple of months
how it pans out.
Yeah, the response to it, because I already have my opinion on the book, but I'm gonna save it, because I do think it's a book that people can read. I mean,
it's controversial, but I mean, even in controversy, sounds like it's controversial. So even in controversy, there's still jewels that are being probably exposed, and people can utilize or give a different perspective or add on to the perspective.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But I also believe this is one case, and this is interesting. I think it might be the audio book, because the author is reading it, so it may make it sound, the author's emotions might be in the audio book.
Understood.
Whereas if you're reading it, you might you know, I mean, you hear a voice when you read,
right,
yours or something. But I think the audio book is making it like yo, what are you on? like yo, it's like what's really good, man. So I think that's kind of what I think. So that's why I don't want to put any judgment on it just yet, and I don't want to talk about it till I go through, and I have both. So I'm gonna see, if something pops out at me, if the audio, I can make that comparison and be like, okay, yeah, the audio, everybody probably shouldn't do their own audio book. I don't know. I plan on doing mine though, for sure. You know that.
I'm good on that one.
Oh, I'm doing that. Oh yeah. Heck, I'd rather do the audio book instead of writing it. But that's the radio thing in it. So it's all good. So, but on the subject of books.
But hold up, before you go there, I want to say that's really fly that you guys have a family book club.
Yeah.
That's I'm into that sharp iron sharpens iron scenario, right? Mm-hmm. And so to share a book, with you, especially with your in-laws, how many people even do that? And you guys read a book, listen to a book, and you come up with the agenda for the book and talking through the book and sharing commonalities, sharing the challenges and views. You know what I mean? And it helps to, like I said, carve out certain understandings, move life forward. But that's pretty dope. That's pretty, and then it's a book on finances, not like it's a Hallmark book or a Christmas story or or some reality TV type of deal, right? It's about something that affects families throughout generations.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? And that's
no,
dope.
Yeah. No, it is dope. I mean, I know I like it, because I'm just like the extra guy. I'm just there. I mean, I'm just there. I know a little bit about the subject matter, so
No, I get it. So I yield back on that.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm just there, quiet.
Yeah, being modest. I get it. No, you're not. Nope.
Well,
yeah, I mean, you quiet until.
Well, I made the final comment.
And you stirred the pot.
Stopped working.
And you just stirred the
pot. So I was like, oh, my bad. I just made a comment. But it is a comment that you would hear on this show. So it wasn't really crazy. It was good. But So, but I'll say for this year what's important, and I well, I'm gonna take credit for it. I mean, I like the concept that they're doing this. And but it goes back to, in a lot of realms where more of this needs to happen, whether it's family, friends, whatever, information sharing is probably needs to heighten. We need to increase the sharing of information in a sharing discussion manner.
Correct.
We share a lot of information in an entertainment manner,
Right.
culturally, that's what we do.
Right.
But ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't need to stop, but we need to get a little, maybe move it up on a percent or two of sharing some information that's not condescending, and so people can start using the muscle, the brain muscle, to analyze and say, oh, how does this affect me? So because it's easy for someone to just sit there and you read the book and this and that, but you got to absorb it and say, well, how do I feel about this? I mean, to your point, even if it's a something that's you don't agree with,
right?
There's strength in understanding why you don't agree with it.
Correct.
And do you disagree with all of it, or is a portion, or something like that? Like, so I think that muscle is not being enhanced.
Right.
I think people are able to you're able to stop, full stop, 60-second video, which some of this is going to be, but 240 characters, everything's short. Now, I mean, when I was in school, that's all I did was write short, and which is why I wasn't a straight A student. But now I probably would be a master.
Yeah, right.
Which is really hilarious to me. I'm like, for years it was like
full circle.
Yeah, you have to be, flesh out your idea, do all that. Now everything is like that. I said,
I was just telling somebody about, because we were talking about technology stuff, right? And I was like, all of the years that I spent pen to paper, pencil to paper, writing, sitting down, you balling up stuff, you drawing lines through stuff, you erasing stuff, you balling, you know what I mean? Like, and you just got to get the tone right, you got to get the flow right, you know what I mean? So you can draw your reader in, and then messaging kind of just flows from the beginning to the end. So now technology, you just do boop, 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 and it spits it. Now it can't replace who you are. It can do some things, right? But for those of us that write, that makes it sweeter, right? It's hard to endure, sweeter to recall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we endured those times of doing that. Now, if we use it correctly, it helps. So I guess it's just the turnover of life. But to your point,
it's a tool.
Yeah, correct.
But some people, they're getting ridiculous with tools. But everything, when something's new comes, it's crazy, and then you sit there and then you start figuring it out. Which is like just on, like, for someone like me, the new writing tools are great because I've always been to the point. I was a business writer when I was in elementary school.
Right.
Like, you ask me the question, I'm writing the answer.
Right.
They do it like that. Used to aggravate me too, but now I can get more of the stuff. But even some of that I strip away because
correct.
The models the AI models are getting better. If we're talking about AI, they're getting better. But last year before, what they were doing, repeating itself. They would just take the stuff and repeat it. If you say I need 500 words, it would come. It might 3 of the sentences might be repetitive.
Correct.
It's getting better, but what I see is as I mentioned before, it's about speed of knowledge. It's like the internet was about increasing the speed of information. Now this is about increasing speed of knowledge. Your thoughts can get together faster, but you still need to go proof the stuff, people.
Correct.
Next thing you know, first of all, at least read it, because if somebody asks you about it, you're like, with the AI, what did you write? So you can tell. So like that. So yeah, so gotta know it. But I know that was a long intro to the book of the week. So the book of the week is this book. This is not the book from the book club. This is Make Your Bed by Admiral William H. McRaven, or McRaven, however he want to get it down. And I'm not going to belabor it too much. some main points, the main points that come from this. And well, let me just say, I mean, the premise, the first thing, I mean, his story is very interesting. He did a lot of stuff. But the big thing is that I would tell the underline, because of the title, was like making your bed every day. I think he was in the Navy, obviously, an admiral, but he was saying making the bed every day gives you a sense of a early accomplishment for the day. So you got something done for the day. And then he expounded on that is that when you come back home, you know, no matter what happened, you have that accomplishment that you can see. Like I did something. And I will tell you it works because I try to do it. I try to make the bed, you know, I try to do it. I mean, a lot of that came from me from working at home for the years that I have, because making the bed signified to me that it was time to get out the bed. Like, you can't go get back in the bed. Well, that's one of the biggest challenges from working from home, because the bed's right there. You can just say, yeah, I'm tired of this. Go get in the bed. So I'm like that. So I can identify that. So this was interesting. You know, just a few points. You know, I had small acts make big impact. So that's an example. Making the bed, it starts building a habit. You know, I'm gonna talk about habits a little bit in a minute. And from setbacks to comebacks, it's another point. You know, you know, setback. The way I say it is that sometimes you have to fall back to leap forward. Just the way it is. Now, I'll say it. Do I always believe it in the middle of the heat? No. But I have to go back to when I say, hey, setbacks, you know, they lead to comebacks. And I'm just going to pick a third point here for this here book.
I like that failure as a forge, right?
So
it's the forge under fire scenario.
Yeah, you be under pressure.
Yeah,
but I mean, listen, life is about being under pressure. Failure, though, that's what I'm saying. And then higher stakes, higher rewards, of course. We know how that works.
And he talks about how to tame a tyrant. Jeez.
Tame a tyrant. Yeah, now that's interesting.
Jeez.
That's it. That's well, we can really go a lot of ways with that one.
Sheesh.
We gotta want to be. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm telling you, I'm not wasting my years. 4 years from now, I don't plan to be talking about some individual that lives in Washington. So, but yeah, so good book. Definitely encourage you to check it out or get book summaries. I mean, nowadays, you know, we came from the era, quote unquote, keeping it real, right? So everything was keeping real, like, you know. So, you know, Cliff Notes were cheating. Like that, I mean, everybody thought they were cheating, but now everything's a Cliff Note. And this is what I'm talking about. So if you do get book summaries, there's some book summary software, some stuff out here, you know, that we I'm gonna say it, you know, maybe we'll get a sponsorship later. So in fact, good idea. The Headway app is something we use internally to consume these books. And the way I try to use, there's books that I listen to, the full book. But there's books, it's almost like getting a preview of the book.
Correct.
Like you do it, and then you say, okay, is this interesting? Or if the main points come out in the preview, and I'm like, the one thing that you learn, a lot of these business type books, the themes are very repetitive. Like they are. It's just they're being said in different voices. There's different stories to make you connect to them. But I would highly encourage you. There's Blinkist. There's a few of them. Do it, because I'm telling you, knowledge is on an all-time low right now. It's available. It's more available than ever, but people are going the other way from it. They don't. It's like they don't want to. And I'm like, me, I'm on overload. Like I have so many courses and all types of things that I have to stop. Like my Audible, I just been housing
It's
credits
like
for.
having fun like that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
fun when you get in the flow of it, and then and then you can apply it. I think so. To your point, is you got to find the easiest way to absorb information because
Mhm.
of the our daily flows, and then find a way to connect with that information, and then and find the true essence. What's the truth? Where does that align with your truth as an individual as well? And does it apply personally? Does it apply professionally? You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
but you got to try to find a way to get the information and push yourself to absorb the information and utilize it, right? So I like, yeah, we do use the headway joint. I use it for that because it allows me to identify the authenticity of that experience for that author that wrote the book. I could stay away from the common themes because I have an understanding of the common themes, and so
Mhm.
there's no other perspective on that, right? But if I could identify the uniqueness of their message, their experience, then and that will broaden maybe my perspective.
Yeah.
That's where the key. And then you jump into the book, you get into the hard book,
Mhm.
you get into the audio book, and you go through the lessons that are like roadmaps and certain tools that you could use that they suggest. So it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Get you one. Be part of that. So then we have
yeah,
a comment off one of the stumps. Failure can make you
make
stronger.
you
That's right.
stronger.
Either make you stronger or finish you. Your
Yeah,
choice.
and but you see, thanks, Greg. He's getting ready to take me down a rabbit hole
Oh,
because
hold on, man. Yes, it's 11:22 already.
because then I go what then we so that's the what. Then we go how, and then
Yeah.
you gotta go why. You know what I mean? Because that blanket statement, people don't like to fail. They don't even like the way that feels, and it's not a feeling. You know what I mean? It is a feeling, but it's not a feeling that it's not a feeling towards success. It's a feeling towards feeling the failure that you're feeling, but it's not a roadmap towards strengthening yourself, if that's making sense. It will strengthen you once you pass through it because you'll identify your beliefs. Are they limiting beliefs? Are you actually doing something wrong? What don't you understand, to James' point, in terms of reading and getting the knowledge in order to move things forward? So all right, I'm a yield back. Let me
Well, I
step
mean,
back
we're
off of
going.
that.
Well, I'll say this because I gotta make a comment on this. So, failure can be an emotion, not a fact. So it's all in how you look at it.
Correct.
So I think the most the challenge happens is when something doesn't go your way. By definition, is a failure, but it doesn't make you a failure. That's
Right.
it. That's the I think that's where the psychosis gets messed up. So if you're able to digest that and say, I did it, and we have to go through a lot of things. You say, well, I tried or whatever. I'm still going. Everything doesn't go your way. That's if they ever made an adult book, like whenever you consider an adult, the first thing they should say is, look, everything ain't gonna go your way. That should be like the first thing they say. Like
Because
it's
it's opposite growing up. It's not like you get in trouble for failure, and
yeah,
that's why it's an emotion that's hard for people to get past because they're telling you, you know, everything, right? Yeah, don't let your circumstances dictate your rule, your run. I get it, but they do everything when you're young. Don't do that. You failed, or
yeah.
you failed
Oh,
this, or you
yeah.
failed
Oh,
that, or yeah. It's when you get older, it's like the
yeah.
more failures you have, the more success you might have. The
Yeah.
higher the risk, the higher the reward. And
Yeah,
you're
just
like,
like
"What? That's not true."
that.
But
Yeah, well, sometimes the higher the risk, the higher the failure.
And if you push through, and if you're able to push through, you get higher the reward. But not everybody. See, now that push through. Now, what Greg is talking about, staying the course in spite of your circumstances, that lends itself to the support that you're gonna get, because you can't do it by yourself. Yes, you can have strong faith, and you can have drive, and you can have everything you want. But if you don't have a strong support system, you're definitely gonna be stuck where you're at. Yeah, and that's not everybody. There's some people that bust through by themselves. Don't let me mess up the numbers. Yeah. But in a common place, you got to have support.
Yeah. So, failure can make you stronger. That's the short answer. So, but that's the book of the week, good people. So check it out. Get your little, I know exactly what I'm.
Yeah, we should do one. We should do a book to say tie your laces.
You're gonna tie them together. You're gonna tie them together. You're gonna tie them up. That's the question. So that's like,
you could do one that say get a belt.
Yeah,
wear a belt. Wear a belt.
But yeah. Well, you couldn't get that. That's a whole nother conversation.
No doubt.
So here we are. So now we've done our platitudes. We've done the book of the week. We talked about a bunch of other things. So I guess we'll talk about BI or money or the subject of the week, right? So I was just thinking that in line with having the book review, which some of my opinion of it may come out in this section. I'm still not going to name it yet, but whatever. I thought about it. I said, hey, we need to talk personal finance. We need to talk personal tax, like I said earlier. We need to talk about that because that's what's happening right now. People are tuning in. They're paying attention to us right now. The light is bright because it is tax season. In July, light not as bright. But January through April, it is on. So, and in my maturity, I'm going to discuss what people are interested in as opposed to, I'll be like, man, what y'all worried about that for? But we want to talk about it. Let's talk tax. Let's talk taxes and your personal finances. And I think we should do this at least the next 2 episodes. It seems like there will be a Nicole sighting very soon because, quite frankly, she's way more immersed in tax right now than I am on a technical level. On a theoretical level and a planning level, we're all equally yoked. But, she's super technical because she is finishing out her certification to become an enrolled agent, which will happen. No pressure. It will happen. So then she will be EA, Nicole. It's going to be serious.
Word.
All right. So, we usually people do this stuff with the common questions you have about taxes and what should I be doing? Well, all right, we'll go this way. The same thing you've been doing, gathering all your documents, get all your stuff together. Your preparer or yourself, you got to get all your stuff, all your tax documents from your employer, your bank for the mortgage, your investment firm, any of that good stuff. You want your receipts and all that good stuff. Now, gather all those things. Now, as a practitioner, your practitioner doesn't want every piece of paper that you have. I'll tell you that right now. That's just, they really don't. They don't need all that. Some of them do. Some of the old school, they want it. But, but you gather everything's pertinent. Some of us use organizers like us at Heyward CPA. We provide you with a digital organizer that will be sent to you via email.
That's a good commercial right there.
Respond directly into our portal. All right. See, I'm doing it as we go.
Yeah. I see. That was good. That was good. That was good.
So, but taxes, man. What's really interesting? I do want it to be conversational. It's amazing to me how much anxiety people have around taxes. Like, I get it, but it's amazing to me like the level of anxiety. And I think I know why. Because it's part of the reason is based on what we discuss on this show, is that people only pay attention to it now. They're disconnected from their tax situation. So their concept is, I don't know. I mean, they're disconnected from it, but they think they're connected to their money. Well, maybe they're disconnected to their money in general. Taxes are part of the game, people. I mean, and I'm going through a long time as a practitioner when people owed money or they say they want tax planning or something, feeling like there was something I just didn't know as to how these stories that come out in the media of rich people don't pay any taxes. And then I realized something. That's not true. One place where the 52 fake out comes out is percent of income they pay in taxes. But when you take that number and you compare it against in dollars, they paying more than you in taxes, just in raw dollars. It's not they're not paying anything. So this thing where everybody thinks they pay too much in taxes, like everybody. They no one, because no one wants to pay taxes. I mean, let's be real, like no one wants to. Even people that get government contracts don't want to pay taxes. Which I'm always find the most interesting thing ever. Like, okay, you don't want to pay taxes, but yet you want money from the government for your work to make the profit that you don't want to pay taxes on. Very interesting. Very interesting. People do that. Yeah. That one always blows my mind. Okay. I just saw it. I'm just like a bit, but I realize people don't think about it. Like it's like no, they don't think about that. So so it's this anxiety. Then is the big bad Internal Revenue Service. Oh yeah. That same Internal Revenue Service that's been defunded for about a decade. So they're revving up to get 84,000 agents. Ladies and gentlemen, it's still the government. They don't become efficient when you running scared. see, the government is the same government when they're not doing something you need done. That's the same government. It's the same thing. Like running scared. No need to do that. But I wanted to address this myth too about this IRS thing. I have to say this. People, this is why we have to have analytical skills. There are representatives, people in the House of, Congress people in the House of Representatives that will speak of defunding the Internal Revenue Service. I mean, serious. Oh, we need to get rid of the Internal Revenue Service. They need to go. They need to get that. But I'm here to tell you, the Internal Revenue Service collects the money based on the laws that start in the House of Representatives. So what that means is, that's like you having an attack dog that you trained to bite everybody that walks in your fence. And when the dog bites the fence, you blame the dog. That's who the IRS is. The United States Congress could get rid of the IRS Monday. Yeah, because I know they're not in town this weekend. They ain't.
Right.
They're not there, so that's like
right.
They just rescind tax laws. But guess what? You know what? If we get rid of the tax laws and no IRS, guess what else won't happen? No government contracts. Hey, there you go. You see how this thing works, and people won't be able to get money out the government. Just saying, it's just a lesson here. This is how you get money out the government. Oh, all y'all that you know, oh, the military, well, yeah, well, no IRS, none of that. Mm-mm. No, not happening. So we are, it is woven together. I'm not here to make anybody say that. I'm not going to say one word that'll make you say, well, you know what? I want to pay my taxes as a patriot. That's not going to happen. I'm not trying to get that. I'm just trying to get you to understand where taxes fall in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Understand where they are. It's, you know, they're not, the code was not written to tax you. It's like, you know what I'm saying? That's like, it's not you personally.
Mm-hmm.
But it has been written to favor the few. No lie about that.
Right.
So why do you come to Heyward CPA? Well, you come here so we can figure out what's most favorable for you. Where can we find things that are favorable for you? Why do you go to any professional tax person? Because we understand the tax law. If you ever run into a practitioner that tells you they know everything about taxes, run away from them. It's impossible. They cannot possibly know everything. It's like you can't memorize as a tax code.
yeah, true.
That's not happening. So
true.
Like, come on. But this is what's happening. So I'm just saying the anxiety level. And I'm saying it for fellow practitioners too. Because, ladies and gentlemen, calling us 15 times consecutively is not going to get your tax return done faster.
Nope.
It's not going to happen.
We got a system in place.
Yeah, we got that. So we have a system. It's a, you know, hands-free system. You know, it's made to make your tax preparation experience seamless, less stress, and reduce anxiety. That's the Heyward CPA difference. But anyway, what I'm saying is, especially if you forgot to give us a document. You know, one of my favorite phrases is, oh, I forgot about that. After you get the first result of the return and say, I don't owe that much. Yeah, you do, because this is what you have. And you're like, oh, I forgot about ... That's why we give you an organizer, though, in all fairness. I'm saying this out of complete love. I'm just trying to tell everybody. I'm trying to demystify the pain. And I'm giving you a little bit. I'm not telling you how the sausage is made. I'm just telling you how the ingredients need to come in so we can make the sausage. And what we do and what we attempt to do. I will tell you in planning. And, you know, what I started with that whole IRS thing is because, look, it's been positioned in a lot of places as us versus them and all that stuff. I don't look at it that way. Our goal is to get them to leave us alone. That's what we try to do. We want to report our income because they're going to find that. They don't care if you report your deductions. They could care less. That don't make a difference to them. We're trying to get our deductions. We're trying to take deductions, the what we're entitled to and what we can justify all the way to the limit that we can do it, file it, have a plan to pay it, and go on about our lives. That's the goal for anybody. Some of us get refunds back. What a refund is that your obligation for the year was less than the money you have been putting in over the year. That's pretty much how you get a refund back. So, first year business owners that quit their job and start a business, you don't get a refund when you have a business. So people think they're like, oh, well, I got deductions for the business. Oh, that's great. That's just going to lower your profit, but you're not getting a check back unless you pay some money in. You might have paid, you might have worked part of the year, paid a little money in, bring it down, you might get something back. But by nature, when you're full-time in business, unless you're making estimated payments, you're not going to get money back. You get to keep what the advantage is you get to keep your money all year. But you're not going to put it on the side and keep it anyway. So, I mean, it's fine. You get to keep it all year. So these are just some of the things I wanted, that have to go here. I'm trying to be like, I don't want to sound like the author I mentioned, their book, but I'm just trying to put these things out from a different perspective, because all my fellow practitioners are going to give you all the deets, the deadline and all that. That's it. Come on, everybody. Not everybody. Everybody does that. All right. I'm just trying to tell you what's happening here. You are reporting your activity from the previous year.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
So, some people, they start finding children and stuff, in March. Oh yeah, can I claim? And some practitioners do it. But the fact of the matter is, the way the tax code is, there's a limit on the advantage of that. Yes, I said it out loud. There is a limit on the tax advantage of having a child. And I have heard from a taxpayer, I kid you not, this guy one time, and this was years where it was more of an advantage. Hey, what man said, you mean I'm not going to get nothing from having this kid? Dead serious. I was like, no, sir, you're not. I was like, wow.
He's kind of upset, huh? It seemed like he was a little perturbed.
If that was in the mix in your family planning decisions, it's always
I'm gonna drop a couple of these because I could write them off.
Pretty much. That's how my man was. I was like, oh man, sorry, dude, man. But anyway, but yeah, the way the current tax code is, and that's what we it remains to be seen what happens. I think it expires this year. The previous tax changes. I don't know. I guess at this point, I'm assuming they'll be extended now. Thank you to everybody that voted the way they did. They'll be extended. Be honest with you, I mean, it hasn't been, just looking at trends of overall, it hasn't been as drastic. What is taken away is the feeling that individuals have a less room in here because of the standard deduction, but there are things you can do. Yeah, but I think the biggest thing you can do is get in tune yourself and understand it, and understand what your taxes are. One thing to do is also, this is the other thing to think about, and I had to come up with the actual lines on the form because they keep changing it around. But anyway, there's a difference between what your tax liability is and what you owe or get a refund for. As I said earlier, you get a refund if your liability is less than what you had put in. But your tax liability is the thing that you want to become aware of. And that's not the bottom. Most of us look like, we think about what was my we refer to it as as what I paid. You know what I'm saying? So right. They changed it. I don't. It's a bunch of forms. I'll write it up. We'll put it in the show notes or something where but you need to look at total tax. If you look at your tax return, or if you get a recorded analysis via Loom recording from like Heyward CPA does, if your practitioner sends you a little video recap, pretty nice, right? But if you do that, so you understand what your total tax is, because your total tax is the fact of the matter. You may have paid in more than you needed to or less, but the total tax is the actual metric. That's the number. That's the one, if you're doing tax planning on, is the number, not what you got back or what you actually paid. And people believe that. They say, I want to pay less in taxes. Well, there's scenarios that I've actually seen where the tax liability went down, but because you cut your withholding, you end up paying more. So you're thinking, oh, I'm paying more than I did last year. Oh, well, you actually reduced your stuff. So that gets to the cash flow part of tax planning. But, we'll get there. We got a whole tax season to talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Right, exactly.
Like after March, we'll talk about that. But right now, we're talking about compliance and getting it done. So your total tax, people, go to your tax return for last year and see what your total tax is. And in fact, if you want to get a little fancy with your personal budgeting, use that number in your personal budgeting. If you know you owe, you're gonna you don't look at your paycheck to see it. You know why? It's because wage earners, they take the money out. So you never touch the money, so you don't think about it. Like most things, human nature, if you don't touch it, you feel like you're not spending it. So you don't see it. But go look at it. Go look at it and say, okay, this is how much, this is what I paid in taxes. This is what my liability was last year. And so that's a tidbit. That's on the house. Go look at that. Very important. It's important to understand these things. I don't feel like we can afford to not as citizens. I don't think we can keep our head in the sand about these things. Things are happening too fast and too often to be out of step. Because what's going to happen is going to be between the budget, and there's going to be a little debate in the Congress about the taxes and the compromises and all that. And most people, they're going to say, it got nothing to do with me. But people in my profession will be highly excited and looking at it every 3.5 minutes like, hey, what are we doing? Because we don't get that much. But you got to know for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's people make a certain amount of money, and they're, because what happens is certain folks, they start getting up there in stratosphere, and back to that dollar percentage thing, as a percent, because there's something called effective tax rate, as a percent of their money, it's not as much, but they're paying more in dollars because they make more money. So if you're making 60,000, then you make 200,000. Yeah, of course you will pay more in money, but your percent may have went down, possibly. But that's why you come to, advisors like Heyward CPA that can guide you and let you know, where you stand in the tax bracket. We can see where you are and give you a common sense feeling of what's happening in your tax situation that can guide you to pay attention throughout the entire year. But anyway, I'll go back to the commentary. So that's the thing. This is like 101. This is tax 101 for this season. Let's get over the anxiety. Let's get into it. Let's understand you got to do it. You can do it yourself. You pay a professional. Pay a professional. You get someone that do taxes, because that's a difference than a practitioner. There's taxes and then there's a practitioner. And I will tell you some of these exotic deductions that come up. I mean, we're not doing it. If you come to us, that's not going to happen. But I will tell you, it takes a long time for them to find you. But when they find you, yeah, they're like a pit bull. They don't let go. So you have to think about it. It's an honor system. Our tax system is an honor system, believe it or not. So, hey, our taxes, I sleep good at night. I don't worry about no taxes, man. It's part of the deal. You make money, you're going to pay. That's how the math works. You're going to pay. but we have things. I know right now it's not real. We're not feeling good about where our tax money is going. I know that. I understand that. And I totally get it. I do get that. That leads to a whole nother subject of, we need to find some activists to talk about that. Why are we not getting our tax dollars worth? Something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Like you put to our client, you got to think about the other part. You could just pass it on to your customers. The same thing. You are paying the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're unhappy, that's why you ever think why politicians don't promote talking to them outside of election time.
You about to drop a gem on them now.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. Hey, you pay taxes every year, not just the year they get elected. And part of it is that they're supposed to represent you. Part of representing is representing the tax money you're paying, right? I'm just throwing it out there to think about it. So, so why, why? I mean, look, this is about to go left. But anyway, I mean, you have people in Congress.
Greg says stay the course. So.
Yeah.
Circumstances, stay the course.
Stay the course. This is not a failure right here. I'm going to take his other one. This is part of this is what I will tell you. This is just a side note that there are people in Congress that make, I think it's up to about $200,000 a year, $190-something thousand a year, that could not earn that kind of money anywhere in the private market. Not even close to that. Think about that. There's some people that could never make that kind of money anywhere. So if you were, and of course our listeners wouldn't be there because our listeners are, you can earn whatever you want, right? But if you knew that on the other side of this, that I can't make this kind of money anywhere, and that's the money that's on the books, by the way. Let's just say that. Wouldn't you do a lot to hold on to your job? So what's more important, getting elected or legislating?
There you go. There you go.
I know. Stepped all in it.
There you
go. But once again, guess what they get paid with?
Yes.
Tax money.
Yeah.
So guess what they're not going to get rid of? Taxes. Correct. They can sit there and tell you whatever they want to tell you on the campaign trail. I really, well, if someone said that, I said, well, how y'all going to get paid then? Yeah, I thought so. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole point. This is why my start of demystification of taxes is starting with what taxes are. Like, so they try to throw, we're going to have a fair tax, no such thing. We're going to have a flat tax. We're going to, simplify it. We're going to do all these things. They're not going to do anything because people are eating very well off of this tax money. And, and debt. Now, rich people pay a lot towards it. But let me tell you something. Most, especially, I mean, we'll use the TV thing, Jeff Bezos. I'm not even going to talk about the other guy that's hanging around with right. But guess who really gets government contracts? It's a what? Ecosystem. Now, those of us, out here in the world, we participate, we pay our pennies in, and we get there. We getting beat as a percent or something like that. But we so wrapped up in complaining about it, we're not learning how to
navigate.
Navigate it, yeah. Navigate and perhaps benefit or do something about it. So, in closing, like finally, just it's saying that look, our firm, Heyward CPA, immersed in taxes. We started. We're a tax place. I actually had to change something I wanted to change because my faith is growing. So I can't say all the stuff. I don't want to do this, I don't do that, because the marketplace needs it. But what's important is one of our goals as advisors is for you to understand what's going on, to understand about taxes, to understand the repercussions of not paying attention, and to be in tune to them. You have to be in tune. We talk about it with businesses all the time. Be in tune to your financials. Well, as an individual, your financial is your tax return. Be in tune to it. It's not. There's a story in your tax return. There's a story there. This is there. This is stuff is not like just from nowhere. How the taxes come up? You may be paying too much, but guess what? There's a counter to it. There might be a reason why you're paying too much. Or you may not actually be paying too much as a percent of your income. It's just that you don't withhold enough and make estimated taxes. So at the end of the year, you have to send money to settle up. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm telling you, a lot of the people, and it was something called an effective tax rate. An effective tax rate is the actual tax you pay against your AGI, your adjusted gross income. So it's the actual thing. It's not the bracket. So when you have a bracket, the tax brackets only tell you what the tax bracket tells you is how much the highest dollar you've earned is being taxed. So if you make $100,000, and I don't have the brackets memorized, but let's just to make it simple, I'm going to say that just as an example, your first 25,000 will be taxed at one rate. Put that on the side. Second 30,000, another rate, whatever. Right. And your top rate might be the highest percent at 25%. So from like say 75 to 100,000, your tax is 25%. So that means 25,000 of your total income will be taxed at 25%. The lowest might be 0, 10% something. So you get a blended rate. So it doesn't mean I make $100,000 and I pay $25,000 taxes. Like that's my taxes. No, it means that your highest dollar is taxed at 25%. So that's how it's calculated. Stuff you need to know. But the final tidbit for today is the other trick of the rich is that they get their money in dividends and interest and capital gains, which is taxed no higher than 20%. So we just take that scenario I have, the 0, 15, 20%. Same scenario. That same $100,000 top is only 20%. $1 million in capital gains, top is 20%. $10 million in capital gains, top is 20%. As compared to wage earners, $1 million, top is like 37. Yeah, like 30 something percent, like 30 to 35. I think they brought it back to 35 or 37. I don't have too many friends in that stratosphere right here, but like that. So it costs more to have a job. I mean, it costs more to earn money as a job. So the big thing when they run around and say that Warren Buffett pays a lower tax rate than his secretary is because Warren Buffett, it's been said that he takes $100,000 salary. The rest of his earnings he gets in dividends, which is taxed no higher than 20%, no matter how much you make. So that ends class. That's the piece for class. I yield my time. It's been real. Thanks for having me on my guest speech here and all that.
No doubt.
Here every 2 weeks, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Monday through Friday, HeywardCPA.com.
No doubt. Well, you can speak to Kory for all your income tax preparation needs. That's right. Ask for Kory. That's 919-886. I don't even 88. What the heck is our number? 4829. I don't call it.
Yeah, true.
Or HeywardCPA.com.
.com. That's the easiest way.
Yeah, HeywardCPA.com. So, for all your tax compliance and advisory needs, call us. Let our vision guide you to where you want to be. Thank you.
You definitely on one today, boy. I'll let you go.
Yes. That's right. Yeah, I don't even know where it came from. Yeah. That was right. So,
Word.
They love you, Jigga. So, all right, but that's that. That's today's show, man. I mean, thanks for hanging out, for listening. I tried to make taxes be somewhat interesting. Did what I could. So, but I'll have some. I'm ready now.
Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, he's on for this tax season is fire season. So, yeah, he's gonna be bringing that to the next one. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but when Nicole step in here, when Nicole get here, y'all ain't gonna be. I'm telling you.
Now don't give it away. Let them rot. Let them sit. They simmering on this right here today.
Okay,
January 25th.
Simmer on this. Hey, if you have any questions on seriousness, though, email us, man. Email us. Schedule a consultation with Core. Consultations with Core. You know what I'm saying? Go to HeywardCPA.com. Go get it. We are accepting
for our business owners too. We got you. Got you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We got you on accounting and bookkeeping. Got you on the business coaching. Got you on all of these other levels. So
yeah, we got to do that. We're gonna take 3 minutes. You got to give them an update. We got to give them the biz therapy update now. Come on.
Oh, I mean, biz therapy is going really, really well. We got a couple of workshops in the mix right now. One is going on the 3rd week. The next one is the 4th week. Got a couple more weeks to go before the new workshop opens up. Things are going really well. Just getting people to. It's the mindset thing for me. You guys know how I go. It's all about the mindset. It's how you look at things, right? And don't try to have limiting beliefs, and understand that those beliefs change as you gain and utilize knowledge and tools to increase your efficiency, right? Or efficacy, however you want to use the word, right? But yeah, biz therapy coaching, our growth labs, we in the lab. We call it growth lab for a reason. You in the lab, head down, and you growing while you in the lab. This is what scientists do. We get in the lab, we figure things out, we come up with solutions for problems, and we keep going and we keep growing, right? So yeah, check us out at biztherapycoaching.com. Jump on one of our workshops. We do offer one-on-ones as well. We got some more offers coming down the pike somewhere down 2025. Check us out at all handles at Biz Therapy Coaching, Facebook, Instagram as well. But yeah, check us out, man. Shoot us any questions if you have any questions. There's contact form on the page. You can schedule a consultation. You can also reach out again with any questions, right? Biz Therapy info at biztherapy.info as well, right? So reach out, right? And then we are BYOB, be your own bookkeeper.
Oh yeah,
this lends itself to what James is saying in terms, even though highlighting a lot of individuals, for those individuals that have side hustles and those people that are sole proprietorships of their business, James, we're a cash profit, cash flow firm, right? His scenario is, look, if you can't play the game if you're not keeping the score. And so, untuck your tails, pull your head out of the sand, and reach out for the support because there's a lot of people out there like this. Then it's okay. It's all right. It's cool. Just come on over here and we'll get you right.
We'll hook you up. Yeah, come, and tell a friend, tell a friend. So we accepting new clients today. So we'll see what's going on. So that was great. All right, biz therapy, you need to be on it. We're gonna have a biz therapy soliloquy in the spring when it warms up, something like that. So anyway, we are out. It is Saturday. It is cold in the eastern part of this country, but hey, we try to heat it up as much as we can. We're gonna chuck up the deuce, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. All right.
Peace.